Young Thug, an Atlanta icon, was expected to emerge from prison and return as a hip-hop superhero, but instead, he simply walked into the biggest setback of his career.
Outside of Atlanta, he is putting on a master class in how to take a good brand and totally f it up. And nobody wants to say it. Every time you see him, there's an embarrassing look that comes with it.
Kendrick got put it down, nigga. You're a superstar. You don't ran up you a few hundred M, but you ain't put nobody on though. You see what I'm saying? You ain't even put Keem on. Keem ain't big. Keem love hell, man. Can't stand no ticket. Watch out. Like, man, watch out. The people only get behind your label because of Wham. They not behind your label because no Amigo. Them nigga in the red. Them nigga ain't making no money.
New phone conversations with Young Thug have been revealed almost daily over the past week, further damaging his reputation every second. However, how are these calls even coming up? As we're about to witness, his complete cooperation with law authorities, along with a brand new 2-hour interrogation that has also been made public online, begs the question, has Young Thug turned into the very thing he vowed to destroy?
Promises, make promises. Just keep promises. Whatever you anytime you ever make you want to know anything, tell me. I'll tell you anytime. But don't tell the world.
What you got?
Yes, you can.
Hey.
I don't have your number.
Well, give it to me. If you ain't giving it to her.
If you listen to rap music at all, you are undoubtedly aware that being called a snitch is almost a career death sentence. Additionally, if we're being truthful, most fans, myself included, don't really care about anything other than whether the music is excellent or have any experience with street politics. However, in the meanwhile, for Young Thug,
truly humble under God. That's what Thug means.
it's no secret that Thug was rather active in the streets, even if his lawyer made up this absurd acronym. Additionally, simply by reading his tweets, Young Thug's former YSL star Gunna is undoubtedly the best example of why he opposes being a rat.
I literally don't hate nobody in the entire world but him. I literally hate him. I swear to God, I hate him.
You must simply tweet, "Gospel, Twin Thug if you're a rapper and a rat." As we will soon discover, however, despite efforts to ban Gunna from the industry for the last 2 years, Young Thug is now dealing with the same charges that he has, disheveled with aggression. But first, we must comprehend how we arrived at this point. Before engaging in hours-long conversations on the jail phone and making arbitrary insults to Quavo and Lil Durk, instead, Young Thug was working with them while he developed into a genre pioneer. As a result, Young Thug was already well known when the time for his first album eventually arrived, having released innumerable iconic mixtapes during his early career, featuring numerous guest features, whom he also discusses in his leaked jail conversations. So Much Fun would make its #1 debut, marking a first for Young Thug in his career. But even as he kept up his momentum with initiatives like Slime Language 2, a 2021 compilation album with Gunna and other artists from his YSL label, when 2022 arrived, everything was irrevocably altered.
Exclusive access inside the Cobb County Jail. We've been asked not to show rapper Young Thug, but we're only about 3 cells down from him.
Young Thug and 27 other members of the YSL were arrested in Atlanta in May 2022 on possible RICO charges. Among those 27 was Gunna as well, whose mugshot went viral, which you can view here. However, there didn't seem to be any problems between him and King at this time. But that didn't change until December 2022, when it was revealed that Gunna, whose real name is Sergio Kitchens, had been released from prison following a plea agreement. Additionally, this particular viral video that has gone viral online shows Gunna responding to all of the court's questions.
Affiliated with YSL around 2016. Is that true as it pertains to you, Mr. Kitchens?
Yes, ma'am.
YSL is a music label and a game, and you have personal knowledge that members or associates of YSL have committed crimes in furtherance of the game.
Yes, ma'am.
I recognize, accept, and deeply regret that my talent and music indirectly furthered YSL the game to the detriment of my community. YSL as a game must end. Is that your statement or acknowledgement?
Yes.
Young Thug and the rest of the YSL squad. At first, it's unknown what the label boss thought of Gunna's plea agreement. However, given that this particular message was displayed on the television screens during Gunna's first post-prison performance, calling for Jeffrey to be released, this gave supporters the impression that everything was straight. Young Thug, Thug and his group also released their third album, Business is Business, while he was incarcerated. However, even though it debuted at number 2, it seemed to be another successful endeavor. Although I've already spoken in a video shows how rappers frequently record new songs from within their cell using a jail phone. However, it turns out that Young Thug spent hours on the phone socializing instead of rapping. Starting with this call that was published here, which discloses his actual motivation for leaking Business's Business.
Bro, I'm trying to drop an album the same day gonna drop, bro. You need to, y'all sent you a song, put a verse on it. An album on the same day he dropped, and it's called Business is Business. Then I'm gonna drop an album the very next week after that. It's gonna be a singing album. I wanted to just be like straight Kanye West tormenting them niggas, like straight, like, oh wow, Doug really dropping an album on the same day this nigga dropping this shit. Like he on bullshit.
One of these several new leaks is this jail conversation between Young Thug and 21 Savage on the other end. However, when he tried to torture Gunna and release an album on the same day, this shocking revelation then came out of nowhere in November 2024. Following the clocking, Young Thug was being freed from the Cobb County jail after accepting a plea deal that reduced his sentence from 2.5 years in prison to 15 years. 10 years. Genuine plea bargain, Jack reads Thug's first post-prison tweet. Initially, during this period, when Young Thug was free and able to communicate with us on Twitter again, fans were ecstatic. But as the ensuing months quickly went by, the situation became completely different. Additionally, many of these same fans are now pleading for Thug to stop using Twitter because instead of, releasing any new music right after he was released from prison, Young Thug's preferred platform for expressing his opinions was Twitter, or, I suppose, X. Did he perform a freestyle on his first day? He took no action. However, to finally dispel any conjecture regarding their friendship, stop behaving like we're pals online, Gun. Read since the post was removed. My buddy, I don't know you. Considering that Thug also claimed this tweet was a major inflated lie, in addition to the fact that they collaborated on some of each other's greatest singles over the previous 10 years. Gunna, in another recently disclosed video, interview.
Just add right now, I paid you to have a number 1 album. You didn't, you know what I'm saying, honestly earn a number 1 album over the weekend, my boy. I paid for that shit. I never said that to him. I never told him that. Cause we just got the plug on that. Like, you never earned a number 1 album. I spent 50 extra grand buying the stream, $50,000.
Claiming that in order to surpass The Weeknd's Dawn FM album and reach the top spot, he covertly set up the Gunna 2022 album to be intentionally manipulated. Later on, when he and his manager were planning how to defeat Morgan Wallen, Thug would also bring up the same bot plug.
We still have to deal with Morgan Wallen, because he's doing 100,000 every week no matter what. Morgan Wallen, the country guy.
Yeah, what the f*** is this doing? Why the f*** didn't we think to put him on the album? Like, what the f***? You still got that plug, right? The shit we did with none of them, you still got that plug?
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Just as we did with Gunna, do you still have that plug? What? He asks. However, although rappers have been subtly attempting to inflate their numbers ever since the internet was invented, so manipulating streams in the music industry is nothing new. Nevertheless, for Young Thug in his career, he has never encountered the level of hostility and backlash he is currently facing. And once more, as every new story merely makes him wonder more, is this the end of Young Thug? All of this would have never occurred if Young Thug had just released some new songs. Remember that usually, when a rapper is released from jail, their level of hype has never been higher. However, Young Thug completely botched it. For example, what about one of the other CDs he has hinted at? Young Thug initially raised the possibility that he was releasing his new album in March of this year. First, this new Instagram account received a new follower. Previously saw her here during a Miami Heat game, holding up the same name across the back of the jersey. Not to mention that the next day, Future tweeted this as well. The largest star in the universe is the inspiration behind the album's title. But after weeks of internet conjecture, Thug's tweet from April appeared to confirm its publication. Red Planet, the time has come.
I just feel big, My album is UY Scooty. I feel like I'm one of the biggest stars. I did a lot foundating this culture and, like the new rap game that's happening right now. I'm like out of this world.
However, as more time passed, Young Thug's much anticipated album remained unreleased. He did release a single, Money on Money, featuring Future, was released in April. However, aside from being really mediocre, I believe that this song was unnoticed by the majority of fans.
Mate, Jeffrey, it's good to have you back. It's good to have you back. Like I said, no Pulitzer will be won for this song.
However, in an attempt to continue his rollout, Young Thug and his team decided to put up billboards at Coachella that read, "The universe has been too quiet up until now," for fans to view as they enter the event. Together with Thug's close friend Mariah the Scientist, they provided us with a precise date of May 9th, which coincided with the 3rd anniversary of his arrest. However, Young Thug's next album just kept getting delayed, as we regrettably witnessed. Actually, Young Thug hasn't put out a new album since getting out of jail as of this video, with the exception of an old song from 2021 that was included on Playboi Carti's album, which initially included 2 lines from Gunna before just one was chosen. It has been more than 2 years since his last back in January, a new feature for Lil Baby's album. Young Thug, on the other hand, has been much more active on Twitter lately when it comes to music. "Your mommy toes are so juicy and I adore them." In June, he posted, "ABC, I'm about to." After Kid Cudi testified in the Diddy trial that Diddy actually put his car on fire, he also received another stray disc, this time at Kid Cudi. Cudi is a jerk for reading Thug's since-deleted tweet. He reiterated his outspoken opposition to snitching and working with the federal government. However, karma was going to haunt him in the near future. Additionally, this Young Thug's post implied that he was somewhat endorsing Diddy, which is obviously not beneficial to your reputation as well.
I'm surprised that he's even trying to keep this up, bro. You can't be a rat for testifying at a domestic violence or a crime trial. I get you're mad at Gunna, but bro, you gotta get over it, bro.
But when August 2025 arrived, no one could have foreseen what would transpire. Rolling Stone arrived at the Cobb County Sheriff's Office, where Young Thug had been detained, received the leaked interrogation footage via email. A spokesman verified that anyone can, in fact, access public documents like jail calls. Like you can, with an open records request for body cam footage. However, even while it is stated that some fans have been holding onto these for some time, the primary account, this page, located here, is in charge of all the recent Young Thug jail leaks. Not surprisingly, there is a Gunna fan page. However, Gunna had nothing to do with our first fresh piece of evidence. If you recall, 10 years ago in 2015, following one of Lil Wayne's performances, his tour bus was inexplicably shot at several times. This man, who was a close acquaintance of Young Thug named Pee Wee Roscoe, also known as Jimmy Winfrey, was charged and jailed for the 2015 shooting, even though fortunately no one was killed.
He will spend 10 years in prison for the April incident on I-285. 2 buses belonging to the entourage for rapper Lil Wayne came under gunfire. Prosecutors say a simmering rap feud and gang tensions led to it. They believe they could pin Winfrey as the gun.
However, there are suspicions that Young Thug and Birdman, who recall having a heated spat with Lil Wayne at the time, sent this out as a warning or a hit piece. However, in this 2-hour interrogation tape that has somehow surfaced online, Young Thug not only cooperates with law enforcement and responds to all of the questions, but he also goes so far as to state this.
You understand? Okay. You have the right to talk to a lawyer before we ask you any questions and to have a lawyer with you during questioning. You understand that? Okay. You have the right to stop answering at any time. You understand that?
Yeah. Well, what is this?
You know Roscoe? Man, that man fucking scrub. That fool. I'm like, you shot at somebody, bro? But I don't know, because every day niggas grow fucking ball. I don't know. I don't want to block. I don't want to, block out y'all case by saying Roscoe ain't on Roscoe.
Explaining to investigators that his affiliate, Pee Wee Roscoe, was breaking laws every day, although they continued to reassure him, multiple times, that he is not being forced to talk to them. The young criminal didn't end there.
Promises. Make promises. Just we'll keep promises. Whatever you anytime you ever think you want to know anything, tell me. I'll tell you anything. But don't tell the world.
What's your number?
Yes, you can.
Hey.
I don't have your number.
Well, give it to me. If you ain't going to have your...
Reach him, once more, for someone like Young Thug, who has been so vehement about not respecting snitching, as we have already learned. This was definitely odd. Thug collaborated with the police on a podcast. The most popular jokes in the comments, Gunn seeing this on a large screen with loved ones, and being accused of being a hypocrite and snitch by someone like Quality. After witnessing all of this, Pierre Thomas, the CEO of Control, changed Thug's profile photo to this artificial intelligence manipulated image and participated in labeling him a rat. However, Young Thug felt compelled to come out after encountering so much criticism and hate speech. He wouldn't stand on it for very long though. My questioning footage was not shown in court because I assisted my brother in reading this tweet from a Young Thug, which was quickly removed. Rat, where claiming that this outdated audio is interrogated by authorities was, in fact, benefiting his pal in the long run, which is also why it wasn't demonstrated in his most recent case. However, Pee Wee Roscoe defended Young Thug in response to the widely circulated rumors as soon as his interrogation went public.
Politicking, man, Jeff, clean as Listerine, man, clean as Irish soap, you feel what I'm saying? I done the time, I did that. That's what you supposed to do. When you go in interrogation room, that's what you do. That's him, he did that. He didn't do that. He did what a taxpaying citizen do, a real street. Kept it solid, kept it overly real, you feel what I'm saying? Really try to pull me out the hole.
Claiming that when it comes to snitching, Young Thug is as clean as Listerine. However, as YSL co-founder Mondo also notes, even though he took a plea deal himself and eventually left after 10 years.
A nigga just beat a Rico. Nigga come home, still talking about, oh nigga ratted, nigga a rat, nigga da-da-da. Bro, that's God. That ain't nothing but God biting you back in your ass, bro. Cause you supposed to been thankful that you just beat a life sentence in a Rico and came home and minded your business and been humble. But instead, you still coming out pushing the rat narrative, bro, and all that, this, that, and the third. Now look, you came back and bought your bitch in the ass. But that ain't the key. And then, like Roscoe did 10 years behind this shit, and you just got on the internet tomorrow, a nigga didn't rat on you? Boy, your ass so brainwashed, it's sick.
These men are telling 50 Cent about the situation on Instagram, so you guys need to move in the streets now. Speaking of Instagram, I'm really trying to get more followers there, so if it's okay with you, please make sure to leave me a message. Follow to be informed when new videos are released, but other names like 6ix99 are also joining the discussion and attempting to clear any remaining clouds before he eventually sits down for an interview and discusses the matter once more through Young Thug's first went to Twitter. Nothing Thug stated that reading this message, which he retweeted on his account, essentially echoes the same ideas and might be interpreted as snitching. It stings how naive you are. Fans of Gunna are so upset at his failure that they had to resort to this absurdity. After publishing, he continued to exchange messages with Atlanta rapper Al in a subsequent since-deleted tweet, claimed documents that provided us with additional evidence of Young Thug providing police with information. To demonstrate that we weren't at odds with Lil Wayne, I honestly made a mistake by claiming that we sold him marijuana. Thug answered, "Can you see the difference? Don't try to turn me into one of those boys." On August 28th, another post appeared, "Death prior to disgrace. In this manner, children." But even though he tried to get to his feet, for himself to support his claims, other admirers were still in shock that Thug was quoted in "like it's the weekend." They're singing to the police.
Is that recently information has come to light that Gunna might not have been the only person who fed the authorities some information. We now have Young Thug responding to allegations of snitching himself.
The argument over who was the real snitch and the disparity in expectations between Young Thug and Gunna persisted. However, the two's friendship was irreparably ruined at this moment, as fans noted that Gunna recently concealed the YSL tattoo on his arm, which prompted Thug to remark that it had to stop. However, Young Thug's subsequent tweet offered us some optimism at last. Allow this. Spar music discussion. Once more, I believe that this is what he ought to have done all along instead of due to his drama with Gunna. He is behaving like a petty high school student. However, there were also jokes that Young, even though Thug's reputation had already been harmed by the issue, it was going to get much worse. Thus, his next album would have to be a gospel record. Young Thug read this widely shared joke while he was in jail, talking on the phone like this, knowing that the feds were recording everything he said. It is now widely known that prison phone calls are constantly being recorded. Additionally, they even let you know every time.
This call is subject to recording and monitoring. To accept charges, press 1.
However, as we previously discovered, anyone may access jail phone calls. But it was obvious that Young Thug didn't care, as he continued to squander hours simply talking on the phone, never imagining that anyone else would hear him talk about his supposed friends. However, in the last week alone, this Gunna updates page and your other major accounts, like Kirko for instance, have obtained numerous Young Thug and jail phone conversations that were leaked.
Buddy talking about Iceman. Ain't nobody waiting for no Iceman to drop. They waiting for the spider. Shit, I fuck around and call that whole Spider-Man. You tell me that's not going platinum first week if we drop it?
That's not touching 100K first week.
That's not dropping 100K?
No.
A drop this? Drop one that's gonna go
Niggas can't just say they gonna go diamond. What you mean?
Yes, I'm not here to make jokes, Mark.
I ain't gonna say nothing too much. I ain't gonna say too much. Everybody can name a Michael Jackson song, but who Michael Jackson put on?
No, wait, stop that right!
Some supporters even speculate that he is the target of a smear campaign. Yet Young Thug's reputation was crumbling before our own eyes as every day went by and another new phone call was leaked.
He gave the jurors the agreement that it's a gang. He said YSL is a gang, and he know people in this on this trial who committed crimes in furtherance of the gang. That means you did it. You saying, you see what I'm saying? You don't know nobody on this case. Yeah. That's a lie. That's a full-blown lie. Nigga, you just made it a RICO case. You just made it a case. Nigga did that shit to get out for a hoe, bro. That's how it's supposed to be, though. Like, ain't no girl supposed to be you and then. Like, I really be like that. Like, I wish you don't never get no more. You don't never get another dollar in the world. Like, you don't deserve nothing. You don't deserve nothing. I don't give a fuck about nothing. Man, you don't deserve nothing. Think about niggas like you, Wham, Dirt, Pluto, niggas who I really fuck with, who like my brothers who already done like cut ties. Imagine niggas, y'all niggas already done cut ties with a nigga, and then I come and take a nigga and be on the nigga's side after they did what.
He starts off by reiterating, in his own words, how much he despises Gunna and how he hopes he never sees him again. In the meantime, Gunna has been quietly releasing music and getting in the best physical condition of his life since his release. However, prior to that, Thug also acknowledged to 21 Savage that he had considered the possibility that things between him and Gunna, that is, if Gunna hadn't previously been interrupted by other celebrities like Lil Durk and Lil Baby. But sadly, these conversations were much more than just a way to
the people who only skin buying your label because of Wham. They not buying your label because no Amigo. Them niggas in the red. Them niggas ain't making no money, huh?
The people that like is going over their head, they done linked him. Like Weezy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know he's gonna go over here. He's so damn retarded and stupid.
A new dig at another rapper has surfaced with every new chat that has been leaked. This includes a jab at the iconic Atlanta group, the Migos, and a derogatory remark about producer Weezy Outta Here, who has produced some of Thug's greatest hits. Then he spoke about his regular partners, like Drake, Future, and Lil Durk. A long tirade about Kendrick Lamar and his cousin Baby Keem came before that. Kendrick appears to have denied him and his buddies a feature.
What's up with the boy Dirt?
Yeah.
Boy Dirt?
Yeah.
I don't know. I did a lot of player shit for the boy too, though. When the boy career went where it's supposed to be, man, Pluto. I was really like locked in with him, like just really with him. But I don't know, he acting a little different. Man, Drake's so stupid. He probably just sent the stupidest condolences, like, yeah, bro, sorry for moms, and you know I'm here for you, bro, whatever you need. Just like I'm stupid. Instead of giving a nigga some wisdom up. Like, me and him ain't been, you know, he ain't never just paid attention. Me and him ain't been tight in a minute.
Yeah.
And it's because he do little lame jump. Like, I don't know what image you trying to get off to these girls, but you an idiot, nigga. Like, everything you know a nigga teaching you, I done taught you. I saw the girl, Gorilla.
Yeah.
Why don't people say she pretty? That bitch ugly as fuck. Long ass, bullshit ass wig, skinny shit. Goddamn. Big ass head, big mouth. Man, watch out. Supposed to be a nigga who bless a nigga. That's why them niggas will never be bigger than Drake ever in life. Kendrick, goddamn, put a nigga on. Y'all niggas, you're a superstar. You don't ran up you a few hundred him, but you ain't putting nobody on though. King ain't big. King love hell, man. Can't sell no fucking ticket. Watch out. I truly believe you do a song with me, Wham, Dirt, Moneybag, Savage. I truly believe we'll have your ass dope.
Hello, can you give me a drop? Brother, I say. No, Squabble features Kendrick's rapping. However, the one musician to whom Thug truly expressed affection was Lil Baby, who was disparaging all of these other rappers without cause. Wham. What must always be explained and what is understood. Thug wrote, I'll be with you forever.
I wouldn't ever do no shit like that, especially to no nigga like Wham. That nigga solid. He really solid. That's one nigga I could say in this world that's really, really solid. He not gonna cross you out. He ain't doing none of that.
You just learned, Lil Baby was praised by Thug for maintaining consistency. But once more, even if I don't consider myself an specialist in street politics, Young Thug's recent release of his interrogation footage, together with other unjustified calls criticizing his buddies, has resulted in what may be the worst jail return in history.
Like, I ain't never been a nigga to pillow talk. I ain't never been a nigga to talk about nobody else in my life on the phone with nobody else. I've never been that type of nigga. I've been, these last few days, I've been sitting around like, what the was I thinking? Like, what I was doing? I appreciate you saying that. I think I was just so f***ed up, and I just felt like it was just over. Man, I'm in a cell 23 hours. Like, at this point, I'm just like, man, I don't give a f***. Life, it ain't what I'm thinking it is. Like, I'm just talking, man. At this point, I'm just talking.
9. Apologize to all those concerned in this matter, and sincerely hope that you will pardon me. On September 7th, Thug tweeted, "I'm moving forward with my life." In addition to revealing his tale and the traditional Playboy Carti approach to damage control, fans are still trying to deal with the fact that he gave us Jeffrey and Barter 6. However, there was a time when everyone was anticipating Young Thug's huge post-incarceration comeback. Rather, he has only created headlines for Twitter fingers and small-time rumors. Something Metro. With his most recent record, Boomin is also at fault. See why by clicking on my latest video.